that this impeachment dream is nothing but a pipe dream. As we kick off impeachment week, guess we had to get past the Super Bowl before we did that. Welcome to the program. I'm your host, Todd Huff. Email todd@toddhuffshow.com, facebook.com/toddhuffshows, where we're streaming as well. Let's talk a little bit this morning about impeachment. This impeachment proceeding begins this week, actually starting tomorrow in the Senate. We know that former President Trump, has been impeached in the House of Representatives for a second time. They did that in the waning moments of, the final couple of days of his presidency. And now we're off to the Senate where the hearing will begin. And I want to share with you their strategy. Politico is talking about a big shift in the strategy in the impeachment proceeding. We'll talk about that this morning. We'll talk about what Alan Dershowitz is saying about impeachment as well. But again, it's kind of a mockery, isn't it? And there's a couple of big issues here. Number one, the first is the idea of impeachment constitutionally is to give members of Congress the authority to deal with a president who is currently in office and to be able to stop that president or to remove that president from office while the voters don't have an opportunity to speak, an opportunity to make their voices known on that particular president after they've learned of the information that impeachment is supposed to provide and deliver to the American people. Impeachment, again, is supposed to be the mechanism by which someone can be removed from office. Impeachment itself is described as somewhat synonymous or closely synonymous with the act of indicting someone. And of course, the Senate trial, if the president is found guilty, is the equivalent of the actual, you could say criminal proceeding or the trial part of our criminal justice system. And of course, the consequences for those who are found guilty would be the removal from office. But the situation doesn't involve a president who is sitting in office, right? This does not include, the circumstances here do not include a president who is currently empowered. This is someone who is no longer in office as of, almost 3 weeks now. Almost 3 weeks now, President Trump has been out of office, but yet they act as though he's still in office, and they have to do something to stop us from having him as our leader. That's not the case, but nonetheless, this is where they want to take us. The other issue is kind of an extension of that, which is, say, for example, if Republicans gain control of the Senate and the House in 2022, can they vote to impeach President Obama or President Clinton or President Carter? Heck, for that matter, can we vote to impeach a president who's no longer living? Where does this nonsense end, and where does it take us? Those are the big, I think, constitutional or just strategic, you could say, issues, or even the things that could set precedent. Where does this go? The other is what Politico here is talking about. This is more on the strategic side. Headline in this article: Democrats' big shift in Trump's second impeachment trial. Impeachment. I inserted the word trial there. Senate Democrats aren't pressing hard to include witnesses in the upcoming trial. So we really didn't have any, I don't think we had any witnesses in the House impeachment portion. Remember, this was just jammed through. This was just pushed through quickly for whatever reason. Rand Paul's out there saying there is zero chance that President Trump is actually going to be impeached. In fact, Rand Paul called for a vote a couple of weeks ago, maybe it was last week or the week before, where he said he wanted to get senators on the record as saying whether or not this whole process was even constitutional to begin with. And 45 Republicans said it was not constitutional. Now, it's a little hard to understand why someone who voted and said that this particular impeachment trial was a constitutional sham, why they would vote in, agreement with the idea that President Trump needs to be impeached or found guilty in the Senate in this impeachment proceeding. Why they would do that if they believe that this is constitutionally an invalid process. This is an unconstitutional process. 45 of those individuals, Republican senators, are on the record as saying that this process to begin with is unconstitutional. So it's a little hard to find the consistency there where someone would say, yes, this is unconstitutional, but yet I'm going to go ahead and vote to find the president guilty and basically say this guy can never run for office again. They seem to be awfully afraid of that, by the way. Yet they want to tell us on social media and other places that this guy can never win another election ever. I wouldn't count on that if I was the left. So let's look at this article really quickly here. Again, this is in Politico. Democrats made a push for witnesses central to President Donald Trump's first impeachment trial, but not this time. Senate Democrats are making it clear they're taking a different approach than they did for Trump's infamous Ukraine call. That, of course, was the first of the insane impeachment proceedings against President Trump. Now, the article continues, they say their experience as witnesses to the January 6th insurrection is enough. They say their experience as witnesses. So in other words, the people sitting in the Senate don't need witnesses because they were effectively there. Richard Blumenthal, senator from the state of Connecticut, says this. This is based on a public crime. His intent was unhidden, and so I think there's a danger, as there always is, for a trial lawyer and prosecutor to overtry and add more witnesses that prove the obvious. This is just too much for me. So we were there, right? They say we were there. We don't need any witnesses. We just are going to basically, I guess, why don't we just have a roll call vote here? Why don't we just vote off the cuff with not even one shred of testimony or anything? What do you mean? No, he says that it's always tempting or always a danger, I should say, for a trial lawyer or a prosecutor to overtry and to add more witnesses that prove the obvious. More witnesses than zero. Of course, any witness would be more witnesses than zero. So we were all there, they say. We saw what happened. This is obvious. Were you at the Trump speech? Did you listen? Tell us the words. What words did he use to incite this violence? Why does the FBI say that this was planned in advance? How can something planned in advance be something that's incited by the words of a president hours before the Capitol was raided? How can that be the case? What do you mean more witnesses? You haven't even made your case, let alone talking about any witnesses. And of course, zero witnesses. Anything can be more than zero witnesses. That's Richard Blumenthal. Senator Brian Sheets, Democrat Hawaii, compared the situation this way. Imagine, this is what he says, imagine if the Ukraine call were streamed on the internet. And given how dug in most members of both parties are, he observed, it's not clear to me that there is any evidence that will change anyone's mind. So in other words, the whole Ukraine call could have been streamed on the internet. And if you thought that Trump, if you hate Trump, basically, you would have said he needs to be impeached. If you were a Trump supporter, you would have said there's nothing here. And he said that wouldn't have changed anything. I'm not really sure what his point is, other than to say what I think is the obvious here, which is that it's the same thing. If you're a Democrat in the Senate, you have already told us that you're going to vote to impeach President Trump. If you're a Republican in the Senate, with 5 exceptions, you've already told us that this is a sham, unconstitutional process. And they need 67 votes. So even if all 50 Democrats plus the 5 Republicans who are currently on record as saying this is not an unconstitutional process, that brings them to 55. I'm not saying those 5 will vote that direction. They very well may. I don't hold much confidence in the likes of Mitt Romney and who else is in that group? Maybe Susan Collins, Lisa Murkowski. I don't hold any confidence in these folks as far as being principled or doing the right thing is concerned, or following the Constitution as it pertains to this, because they're not Trump folks, and that's enough, I guess, to keep your mind open to the possibility this is suddenly somehow a constitutional process. So Democrats are actually going to be having a Senate trial without any witnesses. Think about that. That is the trial. I equate this to when I was a juror on a jury. And the idea that they would not present or not have any witnesses in the trial I was a part of, I wouldn't even have known where to begin with this. But they say, oh, but we were there, Todd. We were there. We witnessed it. Well, again, were you at the Trump speech? What did he say in particular? Why don't you tell the American people? Why don't you play the soundbite that incited the riot? Why don't you tell us what exactly your claims are? See, I think instead of simply saying that they don't need to hear anything because they were there, I think there was nothing there, and so there's no witnesses to call. Maybe they could call each other. Could they do that? Would that violate some Senate rule? I don't know why not. I mean, Patrick Leahy is going to somehow preside over this trial, a very biased judge, if you will, because he voted to impeach Trump the first time. Now he's sitting as the presiding officer in these impeachment hearings. This is a total sham, a total waste of time. There's nothing beneficial that can come from this. If President Trump ever seeks to be president again, which I'm not predicting he will, but if he ever does, he has to win the support of the American people. He's not currently in office. He has to he has to find a way to reconnect and get those votes yet again, so the American individual, the American voter, can speak again prior to his ever stepping foot into the White House again, should that be the case. So it's not as though they are intervening when the voter doesn't have a voice on the issue. Again, he's not in office. They're calling no witnesses. They pushed this thing through. They ramrodded this thing through back in, back a couple of a month or so ago, through the House of Representatives. And now they're not calling any witnesses for the Senate trial. This is a sham trial. This just reminds me of the old Reba McEntire song, The Lights Went Out in Georgia. That's the way that this is being portrayed and handled. So, kicks off tomorrow. Be ready if you're going to watch any of this to, I guess, be subjected to a lot of illogical, just silliness here for the next few days, next few weeks, however long this takes. We will see. Timeout is in order. You're listening here to the home of conservative, not bitter talk. I am your host, Todd Huff, back here in just a minute.
Enrollment in Todd's Conservative Not Bitter University is now open. For a limited time, save $10 on Todd's first course, A Christian's Guide to Being a Patriot. For more information or to enroll, visit conservativenotbitter.com. Sponsored in part by Workforce Chaplains. Could your business or organization benefit from the services of a professional team of chaplains? Meet the needs of your employees and foster an excellent work environment with Workforce Chaplains. For more information, visit workforcechaplains.com today.
Family owned since 1973, Edwards Equipment at 1375 East Main Street in Danville is ready to meet your equipment needs by selling, renting, and servicing several makes and models of lightweight residential or heavy-duty commercial equipment. We carry and service top-name brands like Ferris, Kubota, Steel, Gravely, Honda Power, Land Pride, and more. Visit edwardstractor.com or call 317-745-6427 to check out our clearance specials today. At Edwards Equipment, we don't just sell you any piece of equipment, we sell you the right piece of equipment.
Hunting, fishing, bows, guns, ammo, safes, and more. The Outdoorsman Sports Shop in Greenwood has all the gear you need for your outdoor experience. We have a huge selection of brands that other shops don't carry, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to answer all your outdoor adventure questions. At Outdoorsman Sports Shop in Greenwood, you can even hone your archery skills at our indoor shooting range. Find us online at outdoorsmansportshop.com. So get outdoors, but bring the right gear.
Have you seen the price of custom cabinetry and countertops lately? If you're looking for quality, affordable remodels, call Carriage House Woodworking. Our helpful professionals will walk you through every step of the process. We're offering a free sink base with qualifying purchases. Just enter CHWEINC.com/Todd or call 317-406-3042. Call Carriage House Woodworking. You won't have to spend your kids' inheritance just to upgrade your kitchen.
Hi, this is Caleb with Gluff Plumbing. Does your home need some plumbing updates? Gluff Plumbing is your solution. We specialize in updating old plumbing, everything from water heaters to well pumps, to underground leaks and everything that has to do with water entering and leaving the home, including water and sewer main excavations. We pride ourselves on old-fashioned customer service. Call Gluff Plumbing at 765-721-6789 or visit gluffplumbing.com. That's GLUFF plumbing.com. Call us today.
What if your bank treated you like a person instead of an account number? What if you could sit across from the person you are opening an account with or requesting a loan from and have an actual conversation? You may be thinking, Todd, that's crazy talk. Well, not at Citizens Bank. Come visit them in Monrovia and meet Nick Gibson, their new branch manager, and the rest of their staff. Or give them a call at 317-831-0110. Citizens Bank is an equal housing lender and member FDIC.
If you own a rental property, you know the hassles of marketing, renting, collecting, and the handling of maintenance and repairs. One call to Zuluscape can put an end to your property management headaches. Zuluscape has over 20 years of experience helping landlords throughout central Indiana and taking the stress out of owning a rental. From A to Z, let Zuluscape handle it all so you can enjoy owning a rental instead of hating being a landlord. Give us a call at 317-663-8485 or visit our website at Zuluscape.com.
The compassion of Christ. It's living life connecting to the broken and messy world. It's not simply walking down the street and dropping a quarter in someone's bucket. It's been perverted by Satan from biblical compassion to feeling sorry for, and sympathy isn't where God wants us to live. It's connecting to broken people in our daily life. Living the compassion of Christ.
Welcome back. By the way, this program has been documented by scientists. 98% of scientists, folks, 98% of scientists agree that listening to this program can, in fact, cause you to lean to the right. So be careful if you're operating heavy machinery, driving in to work today. Be very, very careful because studies have proven this. And this, in fact, is 1 percentage point higher if scientists agree with this than scientists agree that man is contributing to climate change. So be careful out there. Maybe some more things on climate change here a little bit later in the program. But I want to talk here. I want to share a little bit from an interview. Alan Dershowitz was on a program called the Cats Roundtable, which is on a radio program that comes out of New York. It was over the weekend, and Alan Dershowitz was asked what was going on with the impeachment trial. In fact, John Roberts is not going to be a part of this, which we alluded to last segment. And the host asks, what the heck is going on here with this trial. And this is how Dershowitz responds.
It's a show trial. And the reason I'm not in it as a lawyer, I was in the last one, is because I'm neither an actor nor a politician. And it's political theater. For example, Jamie Raskin, my former student, who's the head manager of the House, issued this invitation to the president to come and testify. That was just, showing off so that he can say, aha, see, the president didn't accept my invitation, therefore he has something to hide. It's just wrong. The Senate has no authority under the Constitution to try a former public official or somebody who wasn't even a public official. They can only remove somebody who was then sitting in office. James Madison said that in the Federalist Papers. And also, they're trying to remove him based on a constitutionally protected speech. Congress is not above the law. It can't violate the Constitution. It can't violate the First Amendment by putting somebody on trial for making a speech that was protected by the First Amendment. So I hope there'll be an acquittal, and it will send a message that you don't abuse the impeachment power for partisan political purposes.
Well, I'm not sure, and this is, again, Alan Dershowitz there. Alan Dershowitz, a constitutional lawyer. Alan Dershowitz, a liberal. According to Alan Dershowitz, of course, was also on President Trump's impeachment defense team #1. But he points out what I think is fairly obvious, and I like the way he said this. The reason he's not involved is because he's not a politician nor an actor. This is political theater. This is why I refer to the radical left many times as dramocrats. This is what they do. This is what they try to use to their political advantage when they see an opportunity to do so. This is not real. It is real, but it's not a true process. This is a sham. This is not based in the Constitution. This is not designed to remove someone who is currently in office. This is designed. This is payback politics. This is trying to make political hay out of something that they believe will help them. I don't know how this does. I don't know if they're so blinded by their hatred for Trump, if they want to, if Trump runs again, because again, the chances of him being convicted in the Senate are very, very small. I would never say zero, because I know some of the folks that are involved here. I know that they're not necessarily the most convicted people, and if the political winds shift in a certain direction strongly enough, who knows what they will do. But the chances are as close to zero as one could expect, especially if you're not going to call witnesses. Right? I mean, these jokers, they know this. First of all, everybody in D.C. virtually is a lawyer. In my opinion, one of the problems that we have. There are way too many lawyers in both parties, by the way. In fact, I've thought about that. Well, that's another subject altogether. But I don't want to get into that. So there's too many lawyers. They all know this. They all know. We had, Blumenthal here last segment. I read a clip from a quote from him where he was saying that impeachment, sometimes whether you're an impeachment trial or whether a criminal trial, sometimes you can call too many witnesses to make the point that you've already made, except for you haven't made it. And you haven't called a single witness. Surely no one would agree that one is too many, or surely everyone would agree that one is not too many witnesses, right? Can we all agree with that? One witness is not too many? Mr. Blumenthal, Democrats in the Senate? Dershowitz is right. This is a political sham. This is a performance. This is political theater. This is not designed to do what it was intended to do. Dershowitz also adds at the end of this, which I don't see it this way, but he says he hopes that this is soundly defeated. I do as well. He hopes the president is acquitted, and he thinks it will send the message, or hopes it will send the message, that impeachment is not supposed to be a partisan tool used by Congress in a partisan way. I think that the days of wishing for that are are long gone. I think if we want now, I think we should demand that this not be used this particular way. But I think the folks that we have in Washington, D.C. have told us, they've told us who they are many, many times. Either folks don't listen or they don't care. They don't care that there's not enough character in the pinky finger of some of these folks to even care one iota about doing the right thing. And so I have no hopes that this will be the last time that this is done. And by the way, that includes if and when Republicans regain political power. They should not arbitrarily use the powers of impeachment to do the same thing. I know that there's a temptation. I know some of you may be yelling at me right now, but Todd, turnabout's fair play. We got to find people. We've got to find people that are going to adhere to the Constitution of the United States. We've got to make sure that we're not engaging in this. This is not healthy for the republic, or if you prefer, our democracy. Not healthy for our democracy, no matter who does it. And I know the tendency. I understand where you're coming from when you say if they do it, we can do it. I think that we should follow the law. And I think we should demand that they follow the law as well. Now, the problem is we don't have the power to stop them. Nobody seems interested in this except for conservative commentators. But the idea that these jokers are going to suddenly wake up after losing this particular trial, which seems to be the inevitable conclusion we're headed towards here, they being the Democrats, it's not as though they're going to wake up and say, wow, we learned our lesson. I think that is, you talk about naive, that to me is off the charts naive. That is not what's going to happen here. In fact, if it helps them achieve political objectives along the way, this will only encourage them to do this again. I think you could make the case that they have been encouraged by this. They've already done it once before. Now here they are doing it yet again. They are dramacrats. This is a performance. This is not something that is a genuine process. This is a sham. This is a performance. This is a show. It is anything but real. There's not even witnesses. Think about that. Think about having a trial. For those of you especially who are not attorneys, you're not even an attorney, and you would know that if you're serious about convicting someone, you have to have witnesses, right? You know that, but yet they have zero. And they try to tell you that is the wise thing to do because they don't want to have too many, acting as though one witness is too many for the system to bear. It is silly. It is laughable. It is not serious. Neither are their policies, by the way, which we'll have to deal with as well here for the next couple of years. And buckle up for that. There's a whole bunch of those that I can get to here today, time permitting, but I got to take a break. A break is in order. Going to come back and shift gears here a little bit, but impeachment does start this week. The actual Senate trial begins tomorrow. We'll see how long this thing lasts, especially since there are no witnesses that are going to be called. And so there you go. Quick timeout is in order. You're listening to Conservative Not Bitter Talk. I am your host, Todd Huff, back here in just a minute.
Stay on top of the nonsense our colleges are subjecting students to today by listening to Todd's monthly interview series with Matt Lamb, assistant editor of The College Fix. Listen at toddhuffshow.com/college. Brought to you by Apprentice University. With so many societal changes, everyone's talking about apprenticeships and college debt. Businesses seek employees with practical problem-solving skills. Visit apprentice.university to learn about our demanding academics and paid apprenticeships in excess of tuition. No debt, in-demand skills, Christian community.
Fireplaces can be beautiful and even essential in heating some homes. But did you know they could be dangerous to your family if not properly maintained? Chimneys need to be cleaned and inspected annually. My family and I had Smalling Masonry inspect ours. They are friendly, informative, on time, and helped us use our wood-burning stove more efficiently. Call Christian-owned Smalling Masonry today at 317-903-8121 and mention my name, Todd Huff, for a 15% off chimney inspection and sweep.
All right, here we go. $100 down, $200
I went to my first firearms auction a few years ago. It was hosted by TJ Freege, one of my good friends from high school, who is a champion auctioneer and one of the best in the business. In spite of objections from liberal legislators, I walked away with a .22 rifle and a few boxes of ammunition. And I had a great afternoon with my grandpa that I won't soon forget. If you've ever wondered what treasure you could find in an auction, visit FreegeAuctioneers.com and take a look at their upcoming Central Indiana auction schedule. That's Freege, Freije, auctioneers.com. Visit FreegeAuctioneers.com.
Hi, I'm TJ Freege, owner and lead auctioneer at Freege & Freege Auctions and Marketing. I invite you to come see the power of live auctions. It's fast, it's fun, it's transparent, and it's the absolute best way to ensure you get fair market value for your asset today. Get results, go auction.
Are you tired of manually opening the gate every time you pull in the drive, especially during the freezing cold, pouring rain, or hot, humid weather? Then Gatekeeper Services has your solution. They offer affordable residential and commercial motorized units for your gated properties. Veteran-owned with over 50 years' experience in motorized gate sales and repairs on any make or model, and with numerous entry control options, Gatekeeper Services takes pride being certified in both automated gate system design and operator installation. Simplify your life today by calling 317-714-4061.
Are you concerned about your investments? Intrepid Financial has been educating, customizing, and servicing Hoosier investment portfolios since 1998. Our family-owned and operated business builds strong bonds with our clients. When you call, we answer the phone, always ready to walk you through your investment strategy. Intrepid means without fear. We want our clients to be fearless, to feel secure with their investments. Give us a call at 317-818-1776 or visit us online at intrepidfinancial.com.
There's a lot going on in the world today, and with so much going on, it's sometimes hard to maintain balance. Jesus said in John 16:33, "In this world you will have tribulation, but take heart, I have overcome the world." I'm Pastor Jeff Floyd of the Martinsville First Church of the Nazarene. To experience how life can be better with Jesus, come worship at M1 Church at 10 a.m. this Sunday, 1609 John R. Wooden Drive in Martinsville, or catch our live stream service on Facebook at M1 Church. For more information, visit m1nazarene.org. Have a great day today in Jesus.
This is the sound of your typical do-it-yourselfer in completely over his head.
For heating, plumbing,
and electrical done right.
Call Mr. Quick. Call Mr. Quick. Dial the number, spell the words. For on time.
Welcome back, my friends. By the way, this program is brought to you in part by our friends at Apprentice University. In fact, they help bring to you the College Fix interview series, which we're scheduled to have another interview here in the not-too-distant future. Matt Lamb, assistant editor of the College Fix, tells us what's going on campuses, college campuses all around this country. We have him on once a month. That's brought to you by our friends at Apprentice University. You can find out more about Apprentice University. Look, if you are a parent who has a young person, a student graduating high school, soon to be graduating high school, looking at college options or what he or she is looking to do, maybe even a grandparent. Of course, you may be a student listening to this program as well. Great decision no matter which group you fall into. But if you're a student, if you're a parent of a student, if you are a grandparent of a student, it's worth taking a moment to take a look at Apprentice University, how it's different, their apprenticeship program, their educational component, and how they can help students really learn things that they may never learn in a college classroom. For more information, visit apprentice.university, apprentice.university today. So let's shift gears here a bit. We've been talking about impeachment this morning. Here's something else I've referred to this, and this was today. This was on Saturday. I saw this PJ Media here come the, quote, climate lockdowns. This is something I remember talking about, referring to early on in this COVID crisis, because to me, when we allowed our government to take these incredibly powerful steps against the private individual, right? And I said early on, if there is when we look at government taking action like they did, it has to be very, very specific, very, very well defined, very, very clearly articulated as to why, right? Doing something for a short period of time, taking extreme actions, locking things down, all that sort of stuff. It's much different to say that during a couple of weeks or a couple of days versus virtually a year now, as some people have been dealing with this. We've all dealt with it in some capacity, but virtually a year now has passed, almost, not quite, since we've been dealing with COVID lockdowns and all that, all the executive action, mayors and governors taking these extreme actions, telling you what you can do, how you can live your life, which groups of people you can be around, which groups of people you cannot be around, what purposes you can be around other people for. Like, for example, you can be around other people to buy a bag of potato chips at the grocery store, but you cannot be around people in some places if you're going to sing worship to your Creator God. So let's look at this, because this is something that's always been there for me, and I'm glad to see Rick Moran of PJ Media write about this. He says this. PJ Media's Jeff Reynolds reported on the proposed climate emergency legislation that would declare climate change a national emergency. If passed, it would give Biden sweeping powers and unlock billions in spending. Since there is no, quote, climate emergency at the moment, the radical Greens have to create one. And the more dire and frightening they can make it, the more powerful they will become. So when I said, and when you've thought that, yes, COVID is something that we should pay attention to, be smart about, but yet there's other things to consider, namely that our government and the way that it responds to these crises and situations, that is something we should pay close attention to. When I said, and as you've probably said and thought as well, that the behavior, the rationale, the reasoning, the logic that was used in the COVID crisis, the COVID lockdowns, the COVID pandemonium in some cases. We got Fauci out there still, I guess, contemplating whether or not we need to wear 2 masks. If we wear 2 masks, do I hear 3? Do I hear 4? Where do we stop this? On and on this stuff goes. And people are willing and ready to just eat this stuff up. Just accept it and take it. Now we've got people wondering, what about a climate? And again, what about a climate lockdown? What's to stop the government? This is a rhetorical question. But what is to stop the government at some point from saying, look, this is an emergency situation. I shared with you information last week from a study that said by 2100, even if every government around the world did everything that it promised it was doing, even back to the days of President Obama's Paris Accord promises and so forth, if we all did those things, 100%, everything went exactly to plan, the estimates were that temperatures would be 0.05 degrees less by the year 2100 than had we not done anything at all. 0.05 degrees Fahrenheit is all that would be affected, according to their own projections and prognostications, by the year 2100. That's 79 years away. 79 years from now, we will have affected, if those studies are correct, the temperature by 0.05 degrees Fahrenheit. So what if someone says, look, that's not enough? Folks, we're going to kill ourselves and our planet. No one's going to have any jobs. No one's going to have any family. No one's going to have any, church to go to, whatever they want to say to instill fear. If we don't do this today, the sea levels are going to start rising at some astronomical number every day, week, month. Florida's going to be underwater, all this sort of stuff, right? This is what they do. This is how they're going to go about doing this. This is how they have gone about doing this. But what if someone ups the ante, if you will, and they say, look, we're past the point of this just being something that we can legislatively control. What if someone then says it is time, the President of the United States, whoever, who knows, some czar? What if someone steps in and says, we've declared a climate emergency? This is just like COVID. Remember, folks, we had to hunker down. Hoosiers got to hunker down. We're all in this together. Can't stand this kind of just the way that the thought process is here. A bunch of it sounds like, for those of you that used to be, when Chuck Pagano was coach and you had to listen to Prime the Pump and all the chopping wood. We're getting out there to chop wood, prime the pump, get ready here for the team that, that we got to get ready to prime that pump for. We're all in this together. Hunker down, stop the spread, mask up. Okay, I don't even know what I just heard there. That's kind of, but the same tactics can be used, right? The same tactic can be used to say, look, man, you're killing this planet. If you keep driving your SUV to work, if you keep shipping in food to your local community or whatever they want to say on these big trucks, you're killing the planet, man. Got to lock it down. The only way we're going to be here next week is if we lock this baby down. You can't be out in your car. Remember COVID, we flattened that curve with COVID. Think what we can do. Think of the curve we can flatten with climate change if we force everyone. In fact, there's been reports. I remember reading stories. I don't have it in front of me. You have to trust my impeccable memory with this. But I remember reading stories about climate change and how some of the the things that we track, I don't know if it was carbon emissions or whatever, there were noticeable differences when the world was under lockdown. And I remember thinking at the time, boy, oh boy, someone is rubbing their hands together now thinking, it's a great opportunity, too good to pass up. So will COVID lockdowns become climate change lockdowns? See, this is why people like me and you, people who care about the role of government, people who care about the rule of law, the Constitution, the Republic, well, this is why we had concerns not just about the virus at the beginning, but also about what we allowed ourselves to be told to do pertaining to the virus. So, are climate lockdowns coming? I don't know. I don't put it past them. That's why we got to pay close attention to what's being said and done in Washington, D.C., and at all levels of government around this country. But our timeout is in order. When we get back, I want to actually play a soundbite talking about climate change, something I had last week from John Kerry. That's right, John Kerry out there explaining to you and to me why he needs a private jet and the rest of us dopes should probably be riding around on bicycles or walking on foot. So we'll talk about that when we get back. Sit tight. You're listening to Conservative Not Bitter Talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff, back here in just a minute.
Looking to make a conservative, not bitter fashion statement? Check out our apparel online, including brand new items at toddhuffshow.com/shop today.
Wallace Construction is a family-owned business with 45 years' experience in asphalt, concrete, and seal coating. At Wallace Construction, our wide variety of experience and top-notch customer service have helped us build a strong reputation in central Indiana. But we don't rest on that reputation. We build it, one job at a time. If you have an upcoming project, call us at 317-422-5356. That's Wallace Construction, 317-422-5356, and ask for Richard or Roger.
Hi, my name is Lily. My mom and dad used to fight about money all the time. Then one day, I heard them talking about this guy, some uncle I never knew, called Uncle Sam. Well, they say this Uncle Sam guy wanted them to pay him like $1 gazillion, and they didn't have $1 gazillion. So they called this company they heard on the radio called the Tax Doctor. And the Tax Doctor worked with Uncle Sam's people. I think they're called the IRS. And they were able to work it out so my mom and dad didn't have to pay Uncle Sam very much money at all. So now mom and dad are happy, and I'm happy too. Thanks, Tax Doctor.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, call now and pay less. 800-281-0266. 800-281-0266. That's 800-281-0266.
Would you like to save 20% or more on your insurance? Let AIA and Avon do a free comparison for you. As an independent agent, we can find savings that fit your needs and budget. We work for you, not the insurance companies. Whether your insurance need is big or small, give AIA a call, 317-718-1747, or find out what we can do for you at AIA4lowrates.com.
Hey Indy, Sid here with Kill a Dent Removal. We specialize in a paint-free repair process known as PDR. Our certified master technicians remove dents and dings of all shapes and sizes, including hail damage, with zero body fillers, zero painting, and zero diminished value. Most repairs are completed the same day, many even while you wait. Check us out at killadentremoval.com. And remember, folks, don't paint your car, go PDR.
Why would you call a company called Commercial Service for your home heating, cooling, and plumbing? Same question I had, because they have provided over 70 years of quality service and Trane products for both homes and businesses in Central Indiana. It's hard to stop Commercial Service, and it's hard to stop a Trane. Give them a call. I'm glad I did.
Call Commercial Service at 812-339-9114 or online at commercialservice.com. Commercial Service, commercial-grade service for your home.
Business leaders, are your employees satisfied with their jobs? Do they enjoy coming to work and feel valued? Workforce Chaplains can help. Locally owned, we work with organizations to provide holistic care to their employees. I'm Marcus Schrader, President of Workforce Chaplains, and we offer your team a 24/7 support system that positively affects your company's culture and productivity. With our personalized pricing and diverse support system, we handle the issues that you wish you had time for. To learn more, visit us at workforcechaplains.com.
Welcome back. Running out of time here. I want to play this soundbite really quickly. By the way, too, I want to mention one of our newest advertisers, and welcome to the program, Hayes and Sons. Really enjoyed getting to know Jacob and learning a little bit more about Hayes and Sons. They are a trusted water damage restoration company here in the region. And if you have damage to your home, water damage, consider reaching out to our friends at Hayes and Sons. You can visit the website hayesandsons.com. Here's a soundbite from John Kerry when he's in Iceland being asked about climate change, particularly why he has to jet around the world on a private jet, lecturing the rest of us basically how we have to walk everywhere we go and ride bicycles. Here is that clip.
On that issue, pollution, I understand that you came here with a private jet. Is that an environmental way to travel?
If you offset your carbon, it's the only choice for somebody like me who is traveling the world to win this battle.
Oh, boy.
I negotiated the Paris Accords for the United States.
Mm-hmm.
I've been involved in this fight for years. I negotiated.
Your hero. Happened to the soundbite there. Oh, man. Dropped the soundbite. Basically, what he tells us is he's not going to be lectured to. He's not going to be lectured to because he is saving the planet. And what option does he have? I don't know. Greta goes around the world on these basic like flotation devices. Why don't you invest in one of those? But couldn't the same be said for anybody who uses a private jet? Couldn't the same very thing be said about, forget about the jets for a moment, forget about that level of travel. What about just living your life? I mean, I got to drive to the office. I need this, John. I got snow in my drive. I need 4-wheel drive. This goes on and on. Got out of time here. Come back and wrap up. You're listening to Conservative Not Bitter Talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff. Back in a minute.
Listen to Todd's show on your way to work, but want to hear more? Don't miss a beat. Visit toddhuffshow.com/listen to catch the program anytime, anywhere.
Hey Indianapolis, by now you've probably heard about Jody Dowdle with Midwest Tax Group. Jody and his team are experts at helping you prepare your personal or small business tax returns. You can count on Midwest Tax Group to get every deduction possible and work for your higher refund. And not just on this year's taxes, they'll check your prior returns for any tax savings you may have missed for free. Are you behind on filing your returns? They can file past due returns and help negotiate with the IRS too. They complete most tax returns within a week and charge an affordable flat fee, no hourly billing. And as their client, you can consult with the team at Midwest Tax Group year-round at no charge. Midwest Tax Group has 4 office locations in Castleton, Greenwood, Plainfield, and Greenfield, with evening and weekend appointments available. Schedule your appointment today at 317-288-5260. That's 317-288-5260. Or visit their website at mwtaxgroup.com. Midwest Tax Group can help you more than any piece of software ever could.
Our sense of smell stimulates memory and emotion. A scent can seemingly transport us to another place in time. Homemade, hand-poured candles and melts from spur-of-the-moment creations will give your nose the experience the rest of your body is missing during any season of the year. Crackling firewood, fresh-cut grass, Macintosh apple, and even racing fuel are some of their over 200 engaging fragrances. Visit spurofthemomentcreations.com and enter coupon code TODD at checkout to receive 15% off your order today.
Need to refresh or renovate your commercial space? Call Interior Construction Services today, providing the highest level of quality construction at a competitive price. Our service-minded team is here to deliver the detail-oriented environment you're looking to create, on time and on budget. Call us at 317-991-4660 or visit us online at interiorconstruct.com. Interior Construction Services. Progressive, productive, professional.
I want to get one more season out of my furnace or air conditioner. Have you or someone you know ever made that statement? Economy heating, air conditioning, and plumbing has heard it a lot. Did you know that furnaces and air conditioners are most likely to break down when they're under stress? That means during the hottest and coldest months of the year, like those months quickly approaching us. With winter on the horizon, now is the time to replace that old rickety unit. With 0% financing for up to 72 months and up to $600 in instant rebates, now is the time to buy. Doing great work is Economy's priority, and the satisfaction of their customers is their number one goal, guaranteed. Make your home comfortable this winter. Contact Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing today by calling 317-831-5279 or visit them at economyheatingandair.com.
Our word can't be diluted, because we are taught that a promise is a commitment in which you always follow through. No ifs, ands, or buts. So every time you walk through Greg Hubler Chevrolet doors, you can count on the advice and expertise we provide you. Because when we make a promise, we keep it. Greg Hubler Chevrolet. Promise kept. Visit GregHublerChevy.com. Find new roads.
Back to this climate change thing really, really quickly, and I'm up against the clock. But, I mean, all of us that are being told what to do by the government, how to live our lives, what to eat, what to wear, what to drive, what to think. I mean, we all have reasons and rationale to not do, like John Kerry does. But this is how the left thinks. The left always thinks that they're doing some grander thing than you are. They've got some bigger project. He's fighting climate change to win this battle. And what are you and I doing? Just taking care of our families and providing for folks. Ugh, so beneath John Kerry. Anyway, folks, I've got to go. Thanks for listening. SDG. See you tomorrow. Take care.
As a listener of this program, I have no doubt that you embrace the value of hard work, honesty, and integrity. And when you have the opportunity to work with a company that fully embraces and shares these values, I'm sure you jump at it. Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing is just that type of company in Central Indiana. Jeff and Jod Woods have a team of professional technicians here to help tune up your furnace or install a quality new train system. And they're also here to fix those nasty plumbing problems that seem to happen at the absolute worst time. So the next time you have a plumbing, heating, or cooling need, give the good folks at Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing a call. Call 317-831-5279. That's 317-831-5279. Or visit economyheatingandair.com.
Healthcare is expensive and complicated. Did you know that as a Christian business owner, it is possible to provide access to affordable health benefits for your employees? Remodel Health has helped employers across the United States save over $22 million in the past 3 years. Our innovative approach allows your employees to have the health benefits they need at a cost you can afford. Go to remodelhealth.com/Todd to help your employees find the health care they deserve. Remodel Health. Rethink employee health benefits.
You rely on your vehicle every day. It's not a member of the family, but you spend as much time with it as most family members. You wouldn't take your family to just any doctor, so don't trust your vehicle to just any repair service. At Raymond's Auto and Truck Repair in Plainfield, we have well-trained, caring technicians that have the expertise to get you back on the road. For 25 years, we've been servicing personal, commercial, and fleet vehicles. Give us a call at 317-838-7112 for the car service you deserve.